going into the 5th round, it's PXG versus Bet, it's Hypernova versus Blanks, and now Duck Motif versus Sun Eater. Sun Eater is looking to take the 2nd seat in Top Cut from Group A, which is so exciting, and there's a lot of analysis that I need to know about, especially that they took Bet and Hypernova into a Game 5.
Oh my gosh, I'm back, I think. Let's see here. I'm readjusting and seeing what I missed, because Duck Motif winning over Hypernova. Okay, I'm so sorry, everyone. My internet is poofing. But wow, I was talking about, like, previously off stream, I was saying how, like, the seeding for SendouQ finals, it's like, do some of these teams just kind of play to at least get in the top 12 and maybe not necessarily care about their seed? Like, the fact that Sun Eater is the 12th seed, the last seed, and is getting so far in this tournament, making so many amazing set wins against strong teams as the 12th seed is really interesting. So it's making me wonder if teams just kind of play to get in the top 12 but not necessarily care about what their seed is. Right. And so now we're gonna take a break from Group A. We're taking a break from Group A. We're taking a long, solid break from Group A. We've seen enough of what's going on over there. So now we need to come back over to this side of things and talk about ezmd and Nala Fanclub. And surprisingly, Rissa, if you just, and for those of you following along in the bracket, if you just scroll down a little bit and look at what's going on in Group B, your 2nd seed is projected to not make it to Top Cut, which would be the first time in 2 seasons for ezmd to not make it into Top Cut, which is pretty astounding. So Flow Dragons and Nala Fanclub are looking at those next 2 spots from Group B to get into top 4. Nala Fanclub now against ezmd, which I believe they need to beat ezmd in order to even have a chance at staying in the top 2 seats here. But also Ascension from Group B has also been making a lot of waves. They lost 0 to, the only team that they have lost to so far are Nala Fanclub and Flow Dragons, which is why they are in the 3rd place spot, looking to knock on the door of Nala Fanclub and Flow Dragons to try to topple them off of their spot here. But between Nala Fanclub and ezmd, it's looking like maybe ezmd could have a shot at trying to get into that top 2 spot if they are able to find success against Nala Fanclub, which unfortunate that Nala Fanclub had such a hard time against Nala Fanclub had a good time against Super Fight, which is who we saw like earlier in the day. So it was Flow Dragons I'm thinking of. They had a really hard time fight against Flow Dragons, but otherwise have been having a good time in the tournament so far. So hopefully against ezmd, this is where Nala Fanclub is actually going to really put their foot down and say that we are a contender for the top 4. Absolutely. So heading into this, let's go ahead and take a look how this is going to play out. Looking at the comps as well. S+, we haven't seen one of those yet on the stream today. So ezmd rocking that S+ for that, paired with an E leader, NZAP and a Stamper. And then on the other side, Nala Fanclub does have that pencil, the mini, the blaster, and that Splash-O-Matic, of course. Jared, we saw Jared last on the stream switch over to the dualies. That does have the crab that the Splash has as well, but now we're seeing him here switch back over to that Splash.
Yeah, so opting for a little bit better of a fire rate with the Splash-O-Matic versus the mobility that the dualies had previously. Maybe there's been a little bit of a conversation with Nala Fanclub and trying to switch up the gameplay so Jared can stay on that Splash-O-Matic and rely a little more on the teammates to try to pick up some of the legwork here. Ryu's point of view is up high with the mini Splatling. They are trying to get a bird's eye view of what's going on down below here and opting to launch the bubble on one of the zones so that they can try to maintain it for as long as possible, and getting a double pick as well. I didn't even see where the original one came from, but I did see Phoenix going down right in front of Ryu there, which allows Nala Fanclub to hold on to the zones and get some points out of the way here. The pencil player is going to push up for a little bit further because you can see that Phoenix Phoenix and Silver are very firmly trapped on the right-hand side there, and especially with two folks watching the left-hand flank, that you can see that Kiki and Phoenix are going to try to infiltrate. Kiki goes down in the process. Phoenix also maintains enough damage for Ryu to try to finish the job there. So Nala Fanclub holding on to zone, even with two members going down. There is still no threat in sight coming from ezmd. But as we say that, that's three members going down for Nala Fanclub. ezmd now holding on to the zone very firmly. Kiki's going to be launching that Booyah Bomb over on the right-hand side there. Jared has been trapped in that corner for just a few seconds, but in terms of Splatoon time, that is quite a lot of time that you don't want to be trapped there. But still, no sweat off of his back because ezmd is holding firmly onto the zone here, just a few ticks away from trying to switch the lead. But unfortunately, that player goes down in the spine area there, with Ryu and Nala trying to follow up with the pencil player. And now firmly taking control once again. Silver trying to take the fight over to them with Zipcaster too, but it seems like there's some people are just really keen on making sure that Zipcaster gets shut down when it needs to be. And in addition to Zipcaster going down, I'm so sorry, Rissa has once again entered the Shadow Realm, and so her net has been crashing. So you just have to listen to me yap about the game, I guess, which I hope you're fine with. But anyways, Yoshell finding a pick off of Ryu. Ryu unable to gain a lot of ground there. A jump is going to come in, and Yoshell has to abandon them. But even with Jared coming in after that jump, they unfortunately go down in the process. Nala Fanclub is only 2 points ahead of ezmd, with the firefight happening so close to their side of the zone at this point, and no penalty in sight for Nala Fanclub. This is looking very dominant for them here, and especially when you have Silver coming up on the Zipcaster, they're going to try to displace Jared as much as they can and go for Ryu in the corner, but Ryu is just far enough out of reach to get the splat and reject the Zipcaster from coming forward here. A little bit of lag, it looks like, actually, and in an insane turn of events, once again, Nala Fanclub has the lead in the game, but unfortunate, there is a disconnect on the side of Nala Fanclub. It is now ezmd's chance to try and turn it around here and take the first win of the game. If Nala Fanclub can really hold together and keep their defensive tactics strong, then maybe they can utilize keeping the lead in their sails. But now with the penalty being down, and it's basically three members off of the screen here, ezmd is going to take full advantage with the manpower that they have to take the lead and force Nala Fanclub into the wipeout scenario here. With just 7 seconds left to go, there's not much left for Nala Fanclub to try and accomplish here. ezmd winning the game due to a disconnection, and I will say due to a disconnection because Nala Fanclub was in the lead for the entirety of the last few seconds of that set. ezmd finding success due to the disconnect happening, so we might have to take a little bit of a break while the player that disconnected gets themselves resituated back into the lobby. But you don't want to go too far before we can do that, because Umami Ruins is coming up next. Nala Fanclub definitely deserves to have a rebuttal against that disconnect here. So don't forget, you are watching the SendouQ Season 10 Finals. We will be back just after a brief break. Don't go anywhere. Hey y'all, finally, I have returned back from my fellowship to retrieve Rissa from the depths of disconnection dimension, and Rissa is now back with me. Kiki is now back with, or no, actually it was Ryu that disconnected from Nala Fanclub. Ryu is now rejoined us as well. I have grabbed them both by the back of their the nape of their necks and shirts, and I've pulled them back into the SendouQ Season 10 finals with me.
Thank you so much.
ezmd, yes, you're welcome. So not all heroes wear capes, and I certainly don't. ezmd and Nala Fanclub back here again. ezmd finding the win over Nala Fanclub originally because of that disconnect, because Nala Fanclub was very much in the lead. And very quickly, Nala Fanclub is taken down mostly to just one member left. ezmd is like, okay, if this is the net that we have to deal with against our opponents, let's just play even stronger and faster than we have been before. And we're not even through the first minute of the game, and ezmd is completely toppling the points.
Yeah, ezmd here, controlling the zone, making sure they're watching all the areas that Nala Fanclub can be dropping into the zone. Nala Fanclub actually doing a great job. They did a great pinch there. You saw two members, Nala and Jared, there drop down on the left side, but the bubbler come out on the right side and then just collapsing around the zone, completely shutting down what ezmd had started there. So even though ezmd did start out really strong, Nala Fanclub here now is the team that is looking very strong, as we're seeing them not only control the zone, guard these ledges, and just make sure they are on their game, making sure they're avoiding too that E-leader from Yoshell, just making sure they're staying in safe positions to avoid that.
And sometimes I wonder too, with the bubble that Nala launched a little bit earlier, if it was intentional for it to be small. And sometimes I wonder that with bubble launching that people do defensively. It's like, do you want it to be under this grate and be teeny tiny? Perhaps that you do, but there's going to be plenty of opportunity for bubble gameplay, because Nala Fanclub is not running one but two different bubble weapons in their composition and finding themselves very far into the lead here. But now ezmd is looking to try to have a similar story, as Kiki is looking on the left hand side here, launching different strikes from that S blast over the top there. Ryu is going to try to meet them though in the corner and find success in the fight there, and two other members of ezmd went down on the left hand side as well. Just enough time for Nala Fanclub to take zone back in possession.
I really love that both teams, just seeing both of their blaster gameplays, Nala and Kiki there, both on different blasters, but also doing the same exact thing, going to that left side of the other team's drop and just poking with that blaster consistently, and just utilizing that main weapon as best they can, and seeing it from both sides is really cool to see. Now the zone is in control of Nala Fanclub. They're doing a great job here, just making sure they're guarding everything. Do we see jump-ins here coming out from ezmd, but immediately collapsing on that is Nala Fanclub. They are still in control of the zone. You can see they're painting to get their specials ready. Cooler's out as well, so even if they go down, they had one member go down. If they have their other members go down, they're going to be coolered up and ready to fight right away.
Yeah, and that bubble gameplay coming out from Ryu, it was like the perfect placement of it to not only maintain the jump within the bubble, but now there is no paint for them to stand on and actually utilize to try to get out of harm's way. So great bubble gameplay coming out from Ryu there. A lot of jumps happening over on that one spot. Silver is able to take out the opposing force though and save their teammate in the process. Phoenix now looking to try to get a little bit more paint on the ground, trying to take the fight to Nala inside of that bubble, removing the defensive structure off of the center stage there, which allowed a lot of space for Phoenix and Yoshell now to take a lot of ink on the back end. It is ezmd's time now to change the lead back into their favor, but with two specials in tow coming out from Nala Fanclub, the crab tank completely opening that wide open, taking briefly back into the side of Nala Fanclub, but still plenty of onslaught from ezmd here as Zipcaster flies in to save the day, to try to take back the lead once again.
Yeah, ezmd is set up really, really nicely here. They have low penalty points, and after that, it's only 10 points after that to get the lead. So they are doing a great job here controlling the zone. They pushed up a little bit there to distract Nala Fanclub a little bit from getting to the zone, and they are so close. They just needed to hold a little bit more paint. They did a great job at poking at Nala Fanclub trying to come into the zone, but it's almost like Nala Fanclub recognized that, and they were just like, let's just paint the zone because, you know, why not? And they did that, and that has allowed Nala Fanclub now to be in control of the zone once again and super close to winning this match.
Yeah, and I think too, from what I'm seeing on the bracket here, I'm not sure if the win is super important on this at this moment, because Nala Fanclub currently is ahead in terms of wins against Ascension, who is in the 3rd spot for Group B right now. So I think this game actually might have a little bit more at stake than we think. As we enter the overtime phase, there's only 1 point left in separation here. ezmd is able to hold it down and take us into a 2-0 into set point here against Nala Fanclub. So back to what I was trying to gather my thoughts on the bracket, and then I realized we were 1 point difference away from the win here. But I'm pretty sure, Rissa, currently looking at the bracket for Group B, Ascension is in the 3rd place spot. Nala Fanclub is the ones that stand in their way. But I think if Nala Fanclub loses this match against ezmd, I think that puts them below Ascension. And Ascension will be able to take their spot and usurp Nala Fanclub from the top 4.
Interesting. What an interesting...
ezmd, I think, has to win this in order for Nala Fanclub to get knocked down a peg.
Super interesting.
Is interesting, yeah.
Yeah, and Nala Fanclub has actually been, like, that last game that we watched, they were playing really good. So it's like, man, it's really all at stake for them right now if they want to stay in that top 2 position.
And I think also looking at the Group A phase of things, Hypernova has now usurped above Bet. Bet was originally in the 3rd place spot to try to get into top 4. Hypernova now finding himself in the 3rd place seat. And I do think it has to do with Sun Eater. If Sun Eater, I think Sun Eater is mostly secured in their spot in the 2nd place area. And Hypernova has mostly secured their 3rd place spot. But I do think that if Sun Eater loses to Duck Motif here, currently they're in 2-0 against Duck Motif, and Duck Motif is winning, that could also impact the chances of Sun Eater maintaining their spot, which could also be interesting. So there's some very crucial moments here in round 5 that'll determine your top 4 coming forward. Which is exciting nonetheless, and hopefully no more disconnects. No more disconnects affecting our top 4. Please, casters included. We don't want to leave you hanging here. But now at set point, we are back at Hagglefish Market. Okay, this is all on the line, all the cards on the table, all of the marbles are now rolling for ezmd and Nala Fanclub. Nala Fanclub has a very big mountain to climb here, especially if they want to try to maintain their 2nd place spot in order to get into the top 4. ezmd might be changing that narrative for them here, Rissa.
And looking at these comps, I see one major switch up. It's Jared actually switching over to that Splattershot Pro Forge. So I'm curious about the reasoning behind that, since we've just seen Jared consistently play a crab special. So we're seeing Jared here using that Booyah Bomb, maybe going to use the longer range of that Pro compared to the dualies or the Splash that he's previously been playing. Maybe going to be utilizing that Booyah Bomb a lot to help the team push in and get the zone like we just saw happen. We saw Jared use that Booyah Bomb, a Bubbler come after that, and then the rest of the team has pushed forward past that to get the zone. So maybe that is going to be their ticket here for this. We'll have to see how that plays out with that one major switch out on the board from both teams.
Yeah, and I'm wondering too, because just based on like previous matches, it seemed like Nala Fanclub had a very good foothold with Ryu and Nala being able to push forward and cause stuff on the front end. So Jared was like, okay, maybe the midline is what we need. Maybe you just need that like little extra bit of support and somebody that can see more than you when you're up on the front line. And especially because it would seem to me that the pen player's just fine. Like they're doing just fine. They don't need a whole lot of support with what they're doing. They're playing at range, which is exactly what you want to be doing. And Nala Fanclub is finding success with this. They're down to the 36, even with 3 members of ezmd there to try to cover the zone. Twice they have been thwarted now with the no man's land penalty hold there, and ezmd having 3 members down, having to start from scratch again. Now trying to claw their way to Nala Fanclub, now in the single digits of points here, but 2 members go down on the zone. That's 3 members of Nala Fanclub now going down. Really unfortunate timing there. A large penalty being set now for Nala Fanclub. ezmd, it really has to put things together, put all the puzzle pieces in the same place now to try and maintain the force that they have at this moment.
And then if on the other side too, if you're Nala Fanclub, the mental of knowing you were the win was in your grasp. You were so close to just winning this game, and now you have 66 penalty points added onto your 3 points that were close to winning you the game. Just being able to have the mental of knowing, okay, don't worry, we still got it. There's still 2 minutes left of this. We still got it. We started out strong. We can still do this. That is something that's really, really important at this high level Splatoon gameplay. So being able to just do that, we saw them do that. They're able to push in, make sure they're at least able to cap the zone. But the zone right now being consistently controlled by ezmd, as we saw them utilize their specials and push forward into what Nala Fanclub was doing. But both teams had 2 members down, so as there's kind of a scramble here for mid, let's see what happens. ezmd does have 2 members down. This is going to be the opening that Nala Fanclub was hoping for.
Yeah, there was a really intense risk assessment there coming out from Phoenix. From their point of view, you could see they have the end zap, so they have the firepower to work with. But when you have 3 different players coming up the middle section there, it's like, okay, is objective even worth it at this point? Because really my life, I think, is more important with trying to do what we want to do. Kiki is able to take 1 pick and jump back into the firefight over on the right-hand side. And with the help of the wave breaker and friends, ezmd is able to take the zone back into possession. That's 3 members going down very close together on Nala Fanclub now, finding the high ground to reassess how they want to enter into the map. And they got to do it fast, Rissa, because that penalty is now gone.
Yeah, they really have to do this fast, and they got to be careful too, because ezmd, they have 1 special ready, but the longer that Nala Fanclub waits, the more specials that can get ready for ezmd to be able to guard the zone. Jared here uses this Booyah Bomb paired with the bubble. That should help them push forward and at least cap the zone. We're seeing them kind of stay in this bubble to be a safe barrier to allow them to cap the zone. That works out perfectly for them. They are able to cap the zone and stay in the lead here. Give those 44 penalty points to ezmd. So this is so chaotic as we are headed into the remaining 20 seconds of this. If Nala Fanclub is able to keep the zone, they could win this game. But with the way ezmd seems to consistently be holding the zone, it's looking tough.
Yeah, the Booyah Bomb covered it quickly, but ezmd covered it up just as quick. Now holding on to the zone here that we're going to have to be going into overtime, but there's not enough people there. It's just Yoshel. It's just Yoshel on ezmd to try to provide coverage, and it almost was actually enough for the jump for Silver to come back in there. A really, really close call for Nala Fanclub to hold on just a little bit longer into this set. Yoshel, the amount of time, like, it was like 3 seconds, but like the amount of time that Yoshel just had to be like, okay, this is what I'm doing now because there's nobody else here that can help me.
I'm an E-leader, tap painting the zone. Like, really, yeah. That's all you can do.
I'm on it. Don't even worry about it. I'm on it. Not quite enough there. Not enough firepower. Not quite enough time either. Nala Fanclub narrowly escapes the match point with gaining at least 1 win under their belt. And yeah, are we going into the sky? Are we shooting ourselves into the heavens? No. The surprise here is Brine Springs. The great reveal here is Brine Springs. We just wanted to keep you on your toes just for this match specifically. So now the reveal has happened. You're in the know. You're welcome. Anyways, Brine Springs is going to be the next map that we find ourselves on. I'm wondering here if there's going to be a little bit of a backline change. I think that the pencil working out for Nala Fanclub is something that needs to stay, but I'm wondering if ezmd is going to change it up a little bit and use a different backline weapon here, especially something that maybe has a little bit more reach, and perhaps something that can delay a lot of the jump down mechanics that we see very often on a match like this, a map like this.
Yeah, it's interesting. People who play pencil are typically like someone who was a charger player or someone who was like a classic support NZAP player. So we'll see here heading into this, looking into the comps, going to be sticking with that pencil. So, but like you were saying, you know, when you're against Yoshell on the E-leader on this map in particular, this is a known E-leader map. That E-leader can sit back, poke at you from the complete other side of the map, as we get to see Yoshell's aim there poking at the other side already. So just something you have to be really cautious of if you are playing against that. Let's go ahead and see here as ezmd initially has control of the zone, and they are continuing to put on this pressure, pushing forward as they do so.
Yeah, I really appreciate the Zipcaster gameplay coming out from Silver. There's just been so many successful landing points with taking out opponents, but also providing just a very big distraction tool that ezmd's been able to utilize very flawlessly. Phoenix narrowly escaping the Booyah Bomb. That was 2 different Booyah Bombs right next to each other, and Phoenix barely escaped just for to fall into the clutches of Ryu with their bubble down below in the center there. Nala Fanclub now, no penalty in sight, holding on to the zone. There's a couple different subs coming out of bombs to try and see if they can displace and or put some paint down. Not going to be quite enough. Nala Fanclub is like, hey man, if you really want to try to win this fight, you got to come down to us.
Yeah, that's a good point to bring up. A lot of times we'll see teams push forward into the other team's street area, ramp area, and just act really aggressively. But this time, Nala Fanclub is just deciding to stay back, guard the zone, maybe get their specials ready. And it looks like ezmd recognized that as we saw them push forward into the zone, take down members of Nala Fanclub, and they weren't quite able to get as much control though as it seemed like they were hoping to. It seemed like the plan from Nala Fanclub to just stay back and guard the zone is working out well for them, as they are still in control of the zone, and they're doing once again the same plan, getting their specials ready, just staying back and playing safe.
Yeah, and it's interesting because you would think with someone like Yoshell being on the E-leader and having the furthest reach in the game that there would be a little bit more success with that. And to me, it seems like that Nala Fanclub is very much like, we have to make sure that Yoshell is as displaced as possible so that there isn't an E-leader that's like, there isn't a second force that I have to be worried about other than like the NZAP or Blaster that's right in front of me. So it would seem to me that Nala Fanclub is very much like, okay, if you really want to try to fight and win the fight, you have to literally be in close contact with us. We're not going to let you just set up your long range and use displacement tools to try to push us out of the way. You have to try and come and fight us directly. And now that ezmd is able to do that, especially with Kiki being so far pushed up there and ready for the response time of Nala Fanclub to come down the ramp, they're able to not only take the zone and the lead, but also using the playbook of Nala Fanclub against them and trying to force them out of the spawning area and bait them away.
That worked out really nicely for them. Using a play of the same book from the other team worked out very well for them, as they are now in the lead. But it is a scramble here as the zone is back in control of Nala Fanclub. Nala Fanclub, however, does have 2 members down. We're seeing Silver here use the Zipcaster, paired beautifully with, I think that was Kiki there, able to just tag team that Zipcaster play and get a complete wipe on a Nala Fanclub. So if you're Nala Fanclub, you still have some time left within the match. The lead is fairly close. It's not a huge gap, but just the mental of knowing, okay, it seems like the other team is playing really well. Are we able to counter this in quick time? You have to have that mental of knowing, okay, don't fumble this. We still got it. There's still time.
Yeah, and I appreciate too, whenever there is a Booyah Bomb that comes out from Nala Fanclub, Phoenix is very quick to respond to that, because more often than not, that Booyah Bomb has been thrown onto the zone, and Phoenix is like, okay, I'm going to cover that up very quick as much as I can. But ezmd finding themselves with 3 members going down, so a huge response time happening up top there as Nala Fanclub takes the zone back. No penalty now standing in their way to try to reverse the lead here. And again, the similar tactics. Yoshell trying to get set up. Nala Fanclub immediately shutting that down. Silver is going to have to break through here and cause a little bit of havoc to change that, but it's not going to be enough, Rissa, because now that's the lead being taken in Nala Fanclub's hold here. And dare I say it, dare I jinx it with my own words, Nala Fanclub wants to lock in for a reverse sweep.
They really do. You can feel it. They are not letting go. Like I was saying, you know, that mental of feeling that the other team's on their game. Nala Fanclub has not let that get to them. They are still on it here. They are currently in the lead, but with the lead, oh my gosh, we're headed into overtime with ezmd in control of the zone. They have 2 members down on the side of Nala Fanclub. They just need to do everything they can to get to the zone and paint it. We see Nala and Ryu drop down, bubbles coming out from both sides, and just like that, at the last possible second, with members just spawning up at the last possible second, jump-ins happening. Nala Fanclub able to take that. That was insane, Sapph.
Yeah, I just, so I have the stream up open on my other monitor, and I had to like look at the last couple seconds again. There was huge decision making happening in the corner there. Phoenix opted to choose somebody that was jumping out on the side rather than painting the zone, so that left Nala with the blaster to fight 2 people on the zone, and Phoenix had to take the fight to Ryu inside the bubble. Phoenix ended up going down. Ryu went down over on the side, so a trade cancellation happening over there. But then the blaster, Nala having to try to fight with 2 people on the zone, and even still, those 2 people got splatted on zone. It painted it, allowed for possession to go back in with just a second left remaining. Yeah, Nala Fanclub is still very much in this, folks. Don't even think otherwise.
Yeah, they having that mindset of not letting little things get to you is so important. That's one of the things that I'm constantly trying to adapt and learn as a player myself. So just wow, insane. Headed into a game 5, Nala Fanclub
Our
versus...
third one of today, by the way.
Wow, that's crazy. And taking a look at these comp sets, looks like Jared actually going to be sticking with that Splattershot Pro Forge. That must be working out well for them. But other than that, both teams here sticking with what they've been playing.
Yeah, and quite honestly, folks, the entirety of Top Cut and the progression of Top Cut is riding on this match that you are witnessing right now. This is not only the match that we need to wait for, but also I think this match will determine whether Ascension, who's in the 3rd place spot, and Nala Fanclub, between the 2 of them, who is going to be making it into the top 4. Because ezmd will not be making it into the top 4, which, by the way, they have been in the top 4 the last 2 seasons. They have actually progressively gotten better the last 2 seasons when they placed in the top 4. And this will be the first time in 2 seasons that they do not get into Top Cut, which is astounding. So it is between Nala Fanclub and Ascension, but Nala Fanclub needs to win against ezmd here, but within the constraints of the time. ezmd themselves have a disconnect, and we are well within rules for the set to be restarted. So Rissa, no disconnects are keeping us down here because we have plenty of time to restart, and of freaking course we're ending it all on Crabblade Capital. I mean,
it's only fitting.
It's only fitting. It's like I have a magic ball. The orb is telling us that Crabblade Capital is the way.
It's really we were talking about how this map is suddenly up, seems like it's appearing in competitive Splatoon right now within the current ever-shifting meta. And ending this, our commentary set here on Crabblade Capital as a game 5 at that is it's only fitting.
And another thing I keep talking about the bracket. There is a 1-point difference between Nala Fanclub and Ascension in terms of score. There is a 1-point difference between them right now. And I find that to be really astounding that if Nala Fanclub wins this, then they are able to stay in the top 4. But if ezmd wins this, I believe they get knocked out of top 4. And Ascension takes their spot. So there's so much riding on this here, and we want to get started so bad, but then ezmd disconnected and made us wait even longer than we want to. So once again, everybody's ready to go. We have to play all the same things because we disconnected. You cannot change what you are playing. So this is what you get for this game 5 here today, folks. Top 4 is just well within our grasp.
All right, I was still recovering from that last game we saw against these two, so that disconnect kind of gave me a second to regroup, breathe myself, and see, come into this a little bit more of a fresher mind here. So heading into this, Nala Fanclub, they immediately take the zone. They are in control of the zone, a trade happening from both sides. And with Jared still on that pro, like I was talking about before, not going to be having Crab to take this top right area, instead going to be able to use a Booyah Bomb to help defend the zone. You can see Jared uses that Booyah Bomb to throw at the area that ezmd is funneling into the zone, but now ezmd back in the zone. Kind of a stagger happening on each side as both teams trying to get the upper hand. But as this is all happening, Nala Fanclub still in control of the zone, still counting down those points.
Yeah, Nala Fanclub has had a very solid start to this. It's barely past the first minute and we're already down to 10 seconds. What is even happening here? It's crazy the difference between the morale of teams that can happen when a disconnect happens. It was, remember, ezmd that had a member disconnect during the last matchup. Now they are finally finding themselves and being like, oh yeah, that's right. We're playing a game right now. We're playing a tournament right now. We totally are ready and awake and alert for this bout to be happening. So no penalty points now in sight. We are down to the 65 mark here. And there's nobody from Nala Fanclub in the center stage either. So this is looking pretty good for ezmd to maybe turn it around.
It is. They're counting down their points. They have their members that went down jump back into mid to help defend the zone. Nala Fanclub here, they are coolered up. They use that bubbler. I think that bubbler added to Nala going down. A bomb got thrown at the shield there and got that pick onto Nala. So even though the 3 members of Nala Fanclub went down there, we're coolered up. So we see them right back in the action. A couple of them had their specials ready. We see that Booyah Bomb come out to try and aid to Nala Fanclub to coming into the zone. It looks like it's working so far as we see Ryu and the pencil there painting the zone. It works beautifully for them. Shout out to the cooler, because without that cooler, they would not have had those specials to help them come back into the zone. Whew.
It's a defensive tool and an offensive tool. Defensive tool in the sense that the person that drops the cooler can, in fact, hide behind it. Just a little bit. True. Offensive tool because you get to help out your teammates be really, really fast and get the zoomies and do all the other cool things that they can do. 2 specials now online for Nala Fanclub, both of them being deployed. The Booyah Bomb's going to go out somewhere, but Jared still gets lost in the process here. There's nobody standing in the way of Zone. Phoenix trying to go and fight with Nala, lands just enough damage for Kiki to clean up and do the rest. Now in control is ezmd here. It's going to be a super close match, Rissa. I have a feeling we're going to delve down to the very wire. We're just going to be seeing little bits of penalty points getting re-upped and re-added to the current scores now.
I completely agree. Considering, too, that last match we saw and the way that ended, woo, okay, feeling themselves there. That Zipcaster comes out. There's a complete wipe onto Nala Fanclub. Right as Nala Fanclub was actually getting their momentum, we saw them getting their specials ready, starting to come into the zone. But ezmd had some momentum going there, used it to get a complete wipe onto Nala Fanclub. And now, again, we're at this position where Nala Fanclub has to do everything they can to get into the zone. The lead swaps over to ezmd, and the specials are not quite able to come out in time. The picks happen from Nala Fanclub as well. I think that was 2 members that went down. ezmd winning this once they got their momentum there at the end of that game 5 and going to be taking the set.
Okay, so Rissa, just like many, many times before, I was wrong. ezmd winning this set only puts them ahead of Ascension. So they knock Ascension down a peg in the group stage. Ascension is now 4th in their group. ezmd taking 3rd. Nala Fanclub, this matchup did not matter as much as I thought it did. It did not matter as much as I thought it did. Nala Fanclub is firmly secured in their spot moving into the top 4. So your top cut, folks, is going to be PXG, who we expected. Sun Eater, who we did not expect at all. That is your 12th seed in this tournament, and they are in Division 1 in comparison to your top cut folks. They are moving in to top cut. And in the Group B side of things, you have Flow Dragons and Nala Fanclub. moving into Top Cut. So this is a very, very interesting Top Cut. And unfortunately, Rissa and I do not get to cast it for you. However, OBT and the lovely Siren get to take you the rest of the way through this tournament. And there's a lot of things to be considering and talking about for this Top Cut in comparison to last season's. And I encourage you to do some research, as I did yesterday for quite a while. Like I said, ezmd, I have cat claw clippers in my hand as a fidget. ezmd, we're in the top 4 for the last 2 seasons of SendouQ, okay? In season 8, they got 4th place. In season 9, they got 3rd place. And now that like the Moonlights, the FT Wins, the Void Lacti of the group are not playing in this season, I was convinced that ezmd as the number 2 seed was in fact going to be able to take that 2nd place spot. And they're not even remotely close to being into Top Cut, okay? They're outside of the club. They're hating from outside of the club right now, which is so interesting. It's so interesting. And Nala Fanclub, that was seeded number 7 in the tournament. Seeded number 7 in the tournament is finding themselves into the top 4. And this is Jared plus some Freds from the upper mid-level side of things. So folks, you don't want to miss this Top Cut. It's just going to get more and more interesting as the day goes on. I'm telling you right now.
You said it beautifully. You said it all beautifully. I don't have anything else. I'm ready to see this top 4 myself as a viewer. So, Sapph, do you have anything else to say before we go ahead and close this out?
Please don't find me. Don't find me. You don't need to. But if you must, I'm on Blue Sky. I talk about Splatoon a lot on these different broadcasts. You can find me TOing at Sea Battle. You can find me tomorrow night on Ludi Tonight, hanging out with my best pals, Keon and Falco. That's about it. Otherwise, please don't find me. I'm out there. Rissa, where are you at? Anything else you want to share? Closing arguments.
Nothing else for me besides I'm really excited to watch this. And you can find me wherever my name is, somewhere over here at Rissa High on Blue Sky. That's about it for me. Let's see some awesome Splatoon. We're going to go ahead and take a break, swap out commentators. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.